Welcome. You're tuned to the Urban Affairs program. It's time to get up for Urban Perspectives with your host, Pete Rhodes.
Welcome. You're watching Urban Perspectives. This edition is sponsored in part by UCare, Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project, and BMAnetworks.com. I'm your host, Pete Rhodes. On this episode, we'll discuss the contributions of social organizations that provide cultural and educational opportunities for the current and next generation in the African American and diverse communities here on Urban Perspectives. My first guest is a graduate of Fisk University and the University of Minnesota Law School. She is a trial attorney for the state of Minnesota, and her mission is to promote equal justice under the law for all people. She is currently the president of the Minnesota Association of Black Lawyers, whose mission is to promote and support the professional development of black lawyers, judges, and law students in Minnesota. It's my pleasure to welcome to Urban Perspectives, Maria Mitchell. We are so glad that you can be here with us on this occasion as we talk about the great work that you and that organization is doing to advance the legal profession in our communities. So I guess I'll start off by asking you, when did that organization start here in the Twin Cities, and how does it support the profession and those individuals trying to get in this profession, the law profession industry?
Well, MABL officially started about 20 years ago, so it will be our 20th anniversary this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. We're pretty excited about that. And prior to that, there was the Minnesota Minority Lawyers Association. Mm-hmm. And prior to that, most of our members belong to the National Bar Association, which...
Yeah, that's a big organization itself, the National Bar. You guys partner with them as well? We
do, and we're an affiliate chapter, so we pay dues to their chapter. We go to their convention, but we run our own programs.
So what positions, Maria, and capacities in the legal profession locally here have members of MABL served in? You have a long list of great opportunities and showcasing the work of MABL with these individuals.
We do. We're very fortunate in the fact that most of the people who have high profile positions in Minnesota as attorneys are members of our organization. For example, Keith Ellison is a member of our organization, Chief Judge Davis, the Honorable Tanya Bransford. Yeah. We have librarians, Marvin Roger Anderson, who's now retired.
Really? Okay.
We have professors, Nakima Levy-Pounds and Artika Tyner. We have a breadth of different people who are MABL members who contribute to our organization, but contribute to the greater community. James Burrow, 100 strong, with the Minneapolis schools.
Yeah, good friend of ours. Now, how exactly does the organization work to promote these professions and careers to young people?
Mostly we partner with other organizations. For example, I mentioned 100 Strong, where we go out to the schools and speak to the kids. Also, the federal court system has done the Open Doors program, and a lot of our members will go and speak to the students about how they became a lawyer and encourage them to pursue a legal education, as well as just individual programming through Step Up. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Summer program is really a great program as well.
Through the Hennepin. Through the Hennepin County Bar Association, and we'll talk to them and try to engage them, and then a lot of us will invite the students to come follow us for a day, and that's always a great opportunity as well.
I'm sure it's an exciting opportunity even with you. Now you're an attorney with the state of Minnesota. Do students get a chance to follow you sometimes?
They do, and the interesting thing about MABL, because it was established about 20 years ago, I was on the front end of being a high school student at the time, or actually a college student, and some of the members that mentored me encouraged me to become a lawyer. So B. Todd Jones and Don Lewis and Judge Davis, they brought me into their chambers, into their different places. And so I'll bring students with me where I'm a Hennepin County public defender, and they can watch arraignments if they like, or they can come and ask me about my job and what I do.
Speaking of which, when did you decide to become an attorney to pursue this career? And what is your mission as the president now at MABL?
I decided to become an attorney very early in life. I don't think I really knew what it was because my parents weren't attorneys or anything like that, but I I read about and researched the Brown versus Board of Education decision when I was in 4th grade. And my dad went to segregated schools in South Carolina. And so at that time, I had a passion to be like Thurgood Marshall, Constance Baker Motley. And I said, how is it that our government can allow this to happen where some kids go to one school and others just based on the color of their skin? And from that point on, I was hooked.
Change.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, how important do you think then is this organization overall? I know we're going to talk a little bit about your mission in a few moments that we have left, but how important is this organization here? I've heard that it is because of this type of organization that we can draw more African Americans to the Twin Cities, which is important.
It's very important because it gives people a way to connect with folks that look like them, and also people who believe in the same issues that they do. There are other opportunities as well, but it's nice to be able to go into an organization and say, hi, I'm here, and we just embrace people. And that's really important. One of our goals is to be stronger at advocacy throughout my presidency, so we're going to try to be vocal on some of the important legal issues for African Americans, and we want to be a place where people can come and feel shelter from the storm of the profession. Yeah,
I'm sure that's necessary in the legal profession, which is constantly bombarded with so many issues. You're doing a fantastic job, and it's a pleasure meeting you first time here, and look forward to hearing more about what the organization is doing, and let us know if we can be of any service moving forward.
I will. We have our 20th anniversary celebration, which will be November 14th at the Marriott City Center, and it's a gala, so we look forward to that, and we hope that people will join us.
Yeah, we'll be sure to post it for you. Maria, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, stay right where you are. Weekly here on Urban Perspectives, we present Shining Stars, highlighting people, places, and events that contribute to the vibrancy of the urban community. A Shining Star this week has participated in the Midwest Regional Peace Jam and Soundset Festivals. He's a registered songwriter for ASCAP, and his music has been featured on Stars Network hit Power. Meet our Shining Star, Mike Dreams.
My name is Mike Dreams, and I'm a hip-hop artist from the south side of Minneapolis.
From the city with dreams to birth, but nobody know how to raise them, so they all end up being dry raisins. Amazing how I made it through the mazes, the quotas, dedicated.
I'm highly influenced by Kanye West. I think he's one of the best figures of our generation, just because he's not scared to say what he's feeling. And I think a lot of that, as far as art, you have to say what you're feeling in order to change something. You know, as far as art or activism, it's kind of all synonymous. So he's one of my huge figures. And then, of course, you know, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, should be everybody's favorite. You know, he taught us a lot, so those are my two main guys. Usually I choose a concept for the whole project I'm working on, and then I try to just take elements throughout my journeys through life. Like this project I'm working on now is a lot of introspective, a little bit darker, talking about, you know, the different vices that people have, including myself. And so I've been taking actually real life concepts and real life things that have occurred to me and putting them into story form and into song form. One of my main musical goals is just to, you know, set a precedent here in the cities, just to be a part of the legacy that is Minnesota music. So I do want to continue to rise and build my discography and do more shows and get more people to know about me. So when it's all said and done, people can say Mike Dreams was a part of, you know, the Minnesota movement of music. But overall, I would like to travel the world, do some touring, you know, do more music with other people, cross genres, and do some other things with different people, and just explore different avenues and elements.
Wanna know what I was speaking about in the first verse? I was trying to find self, guess I had to search first. Had one side saying I wasn't hood enough, the other side stereotyping just cause my hoodie up.
Stay persistent, because you're about to fall probably 1,000 times. There's gonna be 1,000 people that tell you this is not cut out for you, don't do it. But if it's something that you believe in your heart already, that you have, this dream that you have, just continue to do it until things unfold for you. My name is Mike Dreams, hip-hop artist, and you are watching Urban Perspectives.
Thanks so much, Mike. Join us next as we contribute and continue to spotlight about the contributions of social organizations that provide educational and cultural opportunities for the current and next generation. Meet the president of the Minneapolis chapter of Jack and Jill of America here on Urban Perspectives.
Get up for Urban Perspectives with your host, Pete Rhodes.
We have to continue to be committed to, as you're doing with Urban Perspectives, documenting the voices of our people and being intentional about our people, our communities, our young people, telling their own stories.
There are so many amazing people and positive stories in our cities. Watch for them on Urban Perspective Sunday mornings at 5:30 on WCCO Channel 4.
You're still at it. You still have all the right moves. Still embracing the moment. Still have that sense of adventure. Welcome to UCare. We've been expecting you.
Learn more about our Medicare plans at ucareplans.org. UCare, healthcare that starts with you.
The Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project launched its first season at the Dakota Jazz Club in downtown Minneapolis. Patterned after jazz legend Billy Taylor's Jazzmobile of Harlem, the Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project mission is to promote self-expression in a safe and diverse forum for all ages and nationalities. This summer, parents and youth are encouraged to join the Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project Band. For more information, visit the Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project.org.
Everything about you, yeah, you are perfect to me. Everything.
This is the comeback. Comeback, comeback.
God, he will come. The weapon may fall.
Welcome back to Urban Perspectives. Our next guest has more than 20 years in the medical device industry. Her day job is a senior regulatory affairs specialist with Medtronic. Her passion for development and the growth of African American youth has led her to become president of the Minneapolis chapter of Jack and Jill of America. Welcome to Urban Perspectives, Vanessa Ware. Vanessa, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me.
Man, it was like catching you. It was like, I needed to get you on to talk about this organization that we've been hearing so much about over the years. Some of our kinfolk have had relations with the organization. Cynthia Kelly and others, and you guys have been doing a fantastic job. So when I saw the recent story about you guys, it's like we got to get her on. We got to talk about this program. So give our audience some background on the Minneapolis chapter of the Jack and Jill of America, and how old is it?
Okay, so first of all, the Jack and Jill organization is a national organization. It was organized in 1938 in Philadelphia by African American mother.
Okay.
That chapter, so the national organization is over 77 years old.
Wow.
And the Minneapolis chapter was organized in October of 1952. And so we are over 60 years old. Our chapter has 54 families and over 100 children.
Wow. Wow, that's fantastic. Now, the Minneapolis chapter of Jack and Jill's, Vanessa, recently hosted Building My Brand Leadership Conference. Explain that project and how did it help the youth in it?
So the Jack and Jill organization has Midwestern conferences for the teen organization. So our teens are grades 9 through 12. So it was a conference for the actual teens, and there are 34 chapters in our particular region. And the conference allows the teens to elect new officers for the region. They have workshops that they participate in. There's a community service project where they actually go out into our community and they participate in community service. They have competitions where the teens compete against each other for oratorical, banner, skit, t-shirt, step off. So they have a great time.
Fun,
And there's also the aspect of having the meetings and participating in meetings where they are involved in parliamentarian procedures and they understand Robert's Rules of Order. And so it's a leadership development process for them.
It sounds like they do a fantastic array of events and opportunities to better themselves. So they actually work in the program and move it along.
Yes, and they also have fun as well. So we had teen parties for them as well, and then we also had they were allowed to go to the Mall of America and spend time at Nickelodeon.
Fantastic. How do you, the organization, partner and collaborate, or do you, with local corporations and businesses to further your mission?
Yes, so we have a lot of community service organizations that we spend time with. And so there's Phyllis Wheatley organization, there is the People Serving People organization, there's Crisis Nursery. We work with corporate organizations as well, Jostens, Best Buy, 3M, Target.
Now, what's the criteria for being a Jack and Jill involved in the program, both from the adult standpoint and the youth standpoint?
So first of all, it's a mother's organization. So you are joined as a member, a mother member. So you're invited in as a mother member. You have to be invited in. There's a chapter vote. You have to have children between the age of 2 and 19 years old. And so they start very young, and then they graduate out as seniors. And so as part of that membership, the mother's responsible for planning activities, spending time with the children, etc.
So how have you seen young people enter and then come out and do great things? I'm sure you have some great stories.
Yes, I do. So we have a lot of our teens, well, actually, so they start young, and so because of all of the activities that they're involved in, all the leadership involvement, all the community service involvement, you see them grow and develop into very responsible individuals. They go on to college, they meet other Jack and Jill members in college as well. They graduate and they do great things when they graduate.
Great work. So in the last few seconds we have, what is your main mission now as the Madam President?
So as president, my goal right now is to cultivate the sisterhood that we have with the mothers, and then also to cultivate new 8 members that we brought in last year, and to also continue with the organization relationships we have with all of the corporate organizations and the community service and charitable organizations.
Well, it's a lot of work even on your part on top of your day job.
Yes, it is.
And so we thank you so much for the time that you put in, because what you're putting into our young people now, the outcome helps with the overall our nation and our communities in the future. So thank you so very much, Vanessa, for being available and working hard in our communities as well.
Thank you. What's
coming up next for your group?
For our group, we're just going to get on with our daily work and try to do well in the community.
Well, that's a great way to close, and thank you again so much for being here. Vanessa Ware.
You're welcome.
Yeah. The National Association of Black Journalists' 40th Annual Convention will convene in Minneapolis, bringing thousands of journalists, media executives, students to the Twin Cities. Hear about the activities planned and meet the Minnesota chapter officers next on Urban Perspectives.
At school, they talked about the digital divide, the gap between people who can access the internet and those who can't, the haves and the have-nots. Well, today, my family becomes one of the haves.
Internet Essentials from Comcast offers low-cost computers and internet to lower-income families. It's part of our commitment to making sure that no one gets left behind in the communities we serve.
Now that we're online, anything is possible.
Comcast, connecting our communities.
The Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project launched its first season at the Dakota Jazz Club in downtown Minneapolis. Patterned after jazz legend Billy Taylor's Jazzmobile of Harlem, the Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project mission is to promote self-expression in a safe and diverse forum for all ages and nationalities. This summer, parents and youth are encouraged to join the Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project Band. For more information, visit the Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project.org.
Everything about you, yeah, you are perfect to me.
This is the comeback. Come back.
Thank you for joining us. Our next guests are the President and Vice President of the Minnesota chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists. Deshaun Drew is the former Minneapolis Star and Tribune Managing Editor for Operations. He is joined by the Deputy Metro Editor for the Star and Tribune, Maria Reeve. Both have received numerous awards for their journalistic experience and excellence, and both continue to volunteer and mentor the next generation of media professionals. I'm so glad to welcome again Deshaun and Maria to Urban Perspectives. How are you folks doing today?
Great. Thanks for having us here.
Thank you.
You are constantly busy now over there at the Bush Foundation, and so we're so happy that we could get you back in to talk a little bit about this fantastic conference that's getting ready to come to our Twin Cities here in a few weeks from now.
It's a long time planning. We were talking about this earlier. It's been 5 years since we first sort of got the nod from the National they would do the convention here.
Yeah. You know, we were just talking with Vanessa Ware about Jack and Jill, and I was remiss in mentioning that our organization, the Monitors, which you're a member and I'm a member, are great supporters with them and partner with them as well.
Yes, funding and volunteer time, yep.
That's great. So the 40th Annual National Association of the Black Journalists Convention is coming to Twin Cities. Why is this convention, Deshaun, important to the diversity in media?
You know, NABJ was founded to help people of color, specifically black folks, get the training and get the connections, networks that are involved, and get the sort of inspiration that comes from knowing people who are maybe a step or two ahead of you, helping us move into and throughout the industry. So you look at some of the news executives out there, whether it's locally or nationally, NABJ, if they look like us, probably played a pretty big role in helping them get there. I got my first internship at the Star Tribune in 1983 after going to NABJ.
Oh, okay. Now, Maria, how will you think this conference impact the local visibility and profile overall? Because this is a huge conference coming in, and the Twin Cities Black journalists will benefit from this, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we've been about 10 months in planning, and through that process, we've made connections with other groups and other businesses that I think may not have known we were here, and so we hope that those relationships going forward will help us accomplish some of our goals.
So there are lots of things happening, Deshaun. Can you let us know about some of the events that will take place during the convention here?
So the core part of the convention is professional development. So there are a bunch of plenaries and panel discussions and small group discussions. There's a big jobs fair. So people come and they're looking for jobs or they're looking to fill jobs. You can come and bring your tape. You can be, whether you're a student or 15-year, veteran at that point, and bring your published copies of newspaper stories or magazine stories or video you shot if you're a photographer, or video of you if you do reporting, if you're doing a stand-up or something, and get critiqued and maybe get hired. I mean, there are people who get hired on the spot. People come and find mentors, and then there are, beyond that, there are social aspects of it.
Yeah.
So networking is a big piece of it as well.
So does that mean, Maria, that there are local tie-ins with businesses as well as individuals getting a chance to come that may not necessarily be journalists? There will be events for that as well?
Absolutely. On Saturday, we have a public town hall that the public can come to the convention center and participate. The topic of that town hall is disparities in education. And so we have local experts, such as Eric Mahmoud will be on the panel, and as well as national experts, and the public can come and listen, participate, ask questions. There's another event that the public can participate in that we also getting to that. So our local chapter is responsible for the entertainment for one night, and for us that's Thursday night at First Avenue. We are presenting Mint Condition in concert, so we invite the public to come
August 6th.
August 6th, come and attend.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Mint Conditions, Minneapolis, MPLS is going to be there. A lot of other things will be happening. It'll just be great to see a lot of people into the Twin Cities. I know it's going to help the economy as well, because when we come to these type of events, we spend money. Maria, the African American media professionals profession is declining somewhat. We know that. What is the NABJ doing to help alleviate some of that decline? And moving forward, do you think they're being effective?
part of the goal of the convention is to bring professionals together, as well as to bring young people in so that they can, as Duchense said, meet people, have connections. One of the premier events that the conference puts on is, and Duchense's been involved in this, is the American Society of Newspaper Editors recognizes this problem as well and sponsors an executive leadership institute.
I see.
And so we bring in people, train them for their future jobs in the business. But the other thing that the convention does is we work with high school students. And there actually are probably still spots available in this year's workshop for high school students. It's called J-Shop, and we help them figure out how to put together a news story, what that means, and they are edited by professionals.
Yeah, the future of the industry. How important is Black journalism and Black newspaper and Black media to this overall changing around this
It's huge. I mean, the people who decide what news is are the people in newsrooms. And so it's critical that we have a seat at the table, that we're out there taking photos, writing stories, editing the stories once they're written, from the headlines to finding the right words for shaping the tone of a story. And I think we've all picked up the paper or turned into a local television newscast and see something that didn't seem quite right. So, you know, it's not that you have to be Black to understand Black folks, but I think the most successful newsrooms have diverse staff there so they can have meaningful discussions about a range of issues.
Yeah. Well, the conference is here. It's coming. We'll talk about it. There'll be a link on our website. I want to thank you both for being here with us to talk a little bit about it. Deshaun, Maria, thanks so much.
Thanks for having us, Pete.
Thank you for watching Urban Perspectives and our discussion on social organizations. I would like to also thank my sponsors, UCare and the Twin Cities Mobile Jazz Project and BMAnetworks.com. My guests, our shining star, and you, of course, the audience, for getting up with Urban Perspectives. And you can visit our website at urbanperspectives.tv for information on our guests, their events, and where you can find as well links to previous broadcasts. And help us grow by liking our Facebook page. And remember, there are so many amazing people and positive stories in our cities. Watch for them right here on Urban Perspectives. Now enjoy the photos of the week featuring the sights and faces of the opening of the Inspiring Beauty 50 Years of Ebony Fashion Fair. I'm Pete Rhodes. I'll see you next week.